My wife smiled and said, "I'm going on a date, try not to be too jealous." My reaction left her completely speechless. She couldn't handle it. Before we get started, if you like stories about cheating and karma, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Let's get into it. Jennifer and I had been married for 8 years. I loved her with everything I had. I built my entire life around her happiness and security. I thought we had a true partnership, one based on respect, loyalty, and shared dreams. But recently everything started to change. Jennifer became cold away. She began to reject everything I did for her. My hard work, my efforts, the life I provided. She treated it all like a boring responsibility. She started coming home late, guarding her phone as if it were top secret government property. And when I finally sat her down to talk about the growing distance between us, she didn't apologize. She didn't explain. Instead, she looked at me with this cold, cruel indifference that sent chills down my spine. She stood up, wearing the expensive silk dress I'd bought her for our anniversary last year. She adjusted her earrings as she looked at herself in the mirror, smiling at her own reflection. Then she turned to me and said she was bored with the life we'd built. She was going on a date with a man who actually knew how to keep things exciting. As she walked toward the door, she said to me with a laugh, "Try not to be too jealous when I'm enjoying my life." She thought I'd beg. She thought I'd explode with anger. She expected me to act like a weak, controlling husband, exactly what she wanted to justify doing. But that wasn't the case. I leaned against the kitchen counter, checked my watch with a calm, cool expression, and simply said, "Have a nice evening." Then I added, "And you should take the spare key to your boyfriend's apartment, because you won't need us anymore." The smile faded from her face for a second when she realized I wasn't kidding. For the past several days, while she thought she was being clever, I had been preparing. I had gathered every piece of evidence of her cheating. I had already met with a top-notch legal team to activate the one she had laughed at years ago and signed without properly reading it. Did I tell her she was driving a luxury car? The lease had been terminated an hour ago. Her personal belongings were already being moved to a storage unit across town. She thought she was in control of the narrative. She had forgotten that the stable, boring husband she liked to mock was the same man who controlled every financial and logistical aspect of her comfortable life. Silence fell over the room. Amanda stood there, shaking as reality hit her. Her little escape plan had just become a permanent eviction. She tried to scream at me and tell me I couldn't do this to her, but her voice died in her throat when I handed her the folder. Inside were high-definition photos of her secret meetings and detailed financial records showing how she had been secretly withdrawing money from our joint accounts to fund her new lifestyle. I told her she was free to be as passionate as she wanted, but she was going to do it on her own dime, in a world where my name wasn't attached to it. She stood there, speechless, trembling. The same man she had cheated on was the only man who had truly protected and provided for her. I walked past her, opened the front door, and held it open. "Goodbye, Jennifer." I closed the door behind her for the last time. In that moment, I felt a deep, peaceful peace. The mission to save a dead marriage was finally over. I was no longer the jealous husband trying to hold her back. I was a man who had finally chosen himself. That's today's story, bro. If you enjoyed this and want more real cheating revenge stories, hit that like button, share it, and subscribe. Leave a comment and tell me, what would you do in my place? I'll see you in the next one. Stay strong.